The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB TV.
Whether she's walking the red carpet or doing interviews, you'll find her with celebrities and all the latest news. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, she's always on the go. So sit back, relax, and get ready, 'cause it's the Corey Taylor Talks Show.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Corey Taylor Talks, live from Las Vegas, the #1 teen talk show. Today I have the one and only Mr. Will Edwards, who I adore with all my heart. And
Either you like me or you guys are getting the checks I've been sending. One or the other.
Or both. No, well, you are truly just an amazing man, and I've known you for years, and you really are like such an inspiration.
How many years, really? Tell everybody how many years we've known each other.
Gosh.
It's been seven. Is it 7, 8 years?
Eight, probably eight. Yeah,
years.
It's probably 12. Yeah, so 8 years. Wow.
That's incredible.
That is.
That's incredible.
So, yeah.
And I've seen you grow as well, so I'm always excited when you invite me here.
Oh my goodness. Well, you're just amazing, and I always look up to you, so it's always an honor having
Very
you
nice.
on.
Thank
so.
you.
Of course. So we are here talking about 3 Square today, which is just so amazing, and you taught me so much more about it that I had no idea about. So please explain everything.
What this thing is. Well, 3 Square Food Bank is the only food bank actually in Southern Nevada, and we cover 4 different counties: Clark, Nye, Lincoln, and Esmeralda County. So our whole thing is making sure that people get nutritious food and no one goes hungry.
Right.
And although we do a very, very hard job at it, there's still so much need.
Right.
Here's the scary. Okay, let's get all the scary stuff out, and then I'll tell you what we're doing. So 1 in 7 individuals living in Nevada struggles with hunger.
Wow.
So you're talking about 280,000 people.
Wow.
Nearly 280,000 people. 109 of those are 109,000 of them are children.
Oh my gosh.
So that is where we kind of sit. So what the food bank does is that we don't actually feed people. People don't come to the 3 Square to get fed. We actually have different agencies and different community partners that we work with, over 1,000 partners, nonprofits, faith-based, community centers, organizations, government agencies, and we get all the food in, separate it all out, and then we send it out, and then they feed their people.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, and I always heard about 3 Square, and I think everyone has heard about it, but I don't think they really understood everything. And I like you said, I just assumed people go down there and get food and stuff. I didn't know you actually supplied it, and I didn't even know you covered all those places too. I thought it was just Vegas, basically.
Yeah. We cover a lot of sites, and we're a partner with Feeding America. So we do a program called Kids Cafe. It's an after-school meal program, and we feed. We have about close to 280 sites.
Wow.
That we feed. So that's a lot of kids actually getting meals in. For some of those kids, it's the only meals that they'll have. Yeah. Depending on the struggles that their family might be going through or anything. So we take it very seriously, and we make sure we get it out to them.
Yeah, and I don't think it's so easy to live in the bubble and to be like, oh yeah, my life's great, and you can look at those people and people feel bad and stuff, but it's a horrible struggle, and it's not only adults, it's children, which is just absolutely disgusting that children can even become like that. Yeah. So, but thank God for places like 3 Square for helping people like that and helping the food, because that's the most important thing in the world is food.
I had this realization. So I've been with 3 Square. Yesterday started my 10th week.
Oh wow!
At 3 Square, my 10th week anniversary. I'm gonna go and celebrate.
Yes.
But I'll say this is something happened to me my first week. I went home and I opened my refrigerator and I looked in and I said to myself, "Man, there's nothing to eat in here." there was stuff to eat. I just had to prepare it, or I had to get it cooked. Da, da, da. And then I thought to myself, man, there are actual families and children and elderly in Las Vegas who actually open their refrigerator and there's literally nothing to eat in there. One of the fantastic programs that we have is if a kid is having trouble eating during the week, he's going to have a lot of trouble on the weekend. Right. So another program that we do out of 3 Square, it's called the Backpack Program, and we supply kids with enough food to hold them over for the weekend because school meals may be the only meals that they get. Yeah. So those get distributed all over, and you're talking 100,000 bags a week.
Wow.
Go out, and you know, it's all shelf stable kind of food, so they don't have to microwave it, they don't have to do anything, but it holds them over so they're not hungry over the weekends.
That is so cool. And and it's things like that you don't even think of, and it is the meals at school are the only things they're getting. I mean, that is just like, it's absolutely mind-blowing.
It is, because I just think that, you know, it's I don't think anybody is being ignorant of it, but I think that if you are not in that situation, or if you don't know someone else in that situation, you don't really think about, you know what I mean? You don't really think about, that somebody could be suffering that way. But I wanted to share with you another great program.
Oh, yes.
May I? So this is our summer program. It's called Meet Up and Eat Up.
Oh.
And and it's kids and teens. Any child under 18 can go to any of the locations where the food is supplied. They don't have to register. They just have to eat. Our toughest thing for 3 Square is getting the word out that the food is actually there to be eaten. We have a little harder time over summer because they're not, you know, the kids don't go to a place and they have to be in that place. Right. You know what I mean? Like school.
Right.
So they're in school, so they just sit there and they eat. So so there's a text line, and there's places that people can go. So if you text Summer NV to 877-877, you can get all of the locations of where summer meals will be done. And right now we have about 100 different places, sites all across the valley that's going to be doing summer meals this year. Yeah. So it's going to be faith-based, boys and girls clubs, YMCAs, just some apartment complexes, some libraries. So it's out there. We just need the kids to know that it's out there, and it really goes through the parents knowing and telling the kids to go.
Yeah, I'll post that all over my website and everything too, because that is so cool. And I was gonna say, you know, especially over summertime, I'm sure it's extremely difficult because they're not in school, and that is their only meal that day and that week. So that's really, really cool. Wow, that is incredible.
You know, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I was not aware of the amount of need until I started at 3 Square. But, you know, there are, you know, supporting 3 Square means that you are helping in the fight of hunger.
Yes.
However you decide to do it, you're you know, somebody will really appreciate the things that you do. So, for example, you could always volunteer. You can come up and volunteer for our Kids Cafe program. Our chef, who is executive chef John Hilton, he and his kitchen staff, and mostly volunteers for the afternoon program, they build probably about 10,000 meals every day.
Oh my gosh.
To be sent out to Safe Keys and different schools and different agencies. So coming in and helping alleviates that. We do a grocery giveaway at some elementary schools. So so volunteers come in and they bag it up and make sure that everything is easy to carry and that sort of thing. And then all that stuff is taken out to a school, and it's given out to parents that just need some help, you know. And let me just say something. There's no stigma of needing help.
No.
Everybody needs help sometimes, and it's here specifically so that it will fill in that gap of whether or not you have enough money to buy something or not buy something. It doesn't mean that anybody's a bad person. It just means you need a little help. You need a little stretch.
And anyone can be in that situation tomorrow. And I really, I don't, like you said, there's no judgment on it, because anyone that tomorrow, literally, that one check doesn't go through, you lose your job. I mean, it can happen like that. And
like just so fast.
so thank God for places like this. I mean, that is just incredible.
And you can also, people can go on to the 3square.org website, and if you look under agency partners, you can find pantries in the area. So all of these pantries, basically, they get their food from us.
Mm-hmm.
So we provide that food. There's also a little store inside of 3 Square where they can buy additional stuff if they know that their people will want additional things. They can do that on, of course, a fraction of the cost that it would cost them to go out and buy it on their own. So you have that. There's just, I mean, like so much. So here's a new thing that I'm going to be getting into, which I'm very excited about. So 3 Square also has event space.
Yes, I wanted to bring that up too. I really wanted to bring that up.
I know we were talking about it when we had dinner the other night. But 3 Square has an event space, and it's a beautiful, beautiful building that we get to work in every single day. So I count myself as very fortunate and very blessed to be a part of this organization.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so you can fit 180 seated for a dinner or an award ceremony or something like that, and also you can do 200 in that space, theater style. There's a demo kitchen that is just gorgeous that you could also rent out and have a cocktail party there, and you could either cook for your guests, or you can hire our chef to come in and cook for your guests. There's a absolutely gorgeous boardroom in there. So if you have meetings and you wanted to do something a little upscale, that is the place to do it. And we're not going to charge you a fortune to get it done. But the beauty of doing an event at 3 Square is that you are also helping with the fight against hunger, which is fantastic, because that money goes right back into the fight, which is awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you were showing me some pictures and stuff. It was insane. Like, I had no idea, like, 3 Square was like, and it's beautiful. And even you just posted a picture of yourself in a little part of it, and that part was beautiful. I mean,
like, what's happening here?
It's absolutely such a gorgeous place. And I mean, how cool for companies to be able to host amazing, incredible events and then be helping out with the community and ending hunger. I mean,
it's a win-win.
Yeah,
I
and
think
your customers will be happy to know that you are doing that and helping the community. So if you are smart and you are a business owner, this would be the place to host it.
And what was it?
She said Beyonce chef.
Yeah. So someone just yelled at me, but it was our executive chef who prepares all the meals with his crew. He was the chef for Jay-Z and Beyonce for about 2 years, and he also does all the VIP guests at T-Mobile Arena. He just did Justin Timberlake.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He just cooked for Justin Timberlake. I told him, tell JT I said what up. And I think he did it. I'm pretty sure he did it. Absolutely. But in addition to events, we also do some team building as well. We have 4 fantastic packages. You bring your team in. We have certified team builders actually running it, and then we put you on the volunteer line so that your team can start working together and give back to the community at the same time. And once again, purchase any of that, it all goes back into the fight of hunger. So anything that you do there is just, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it, because I got a chance to do a I'll share this with you. It's so funny because I don't have children myself, but I go out to schools and you're making sure the program is running right and so forth. And my first week I was shadowing someone, and this little girl, I'm outside of the cafeteria, but the doors were the kids had to come out and get their backpacks. So this little girl walks up to me, and she goes, "Hello," and I go, "Hello," and then she just hugs me, and I'm like, what is she doing? What's happening here? But you just don't know. Right. You don't know who you're helping. You don't know the severity of the situation. But I said to someone that I am very excited to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Go to work.
Yeah. And that's such a rarity itself.
I'm very excited about it because
Yeah.
I know that everything that I'm doing right now is helping someone somewhere. Because the truth of the matter is, think about it. Here we go. So you get hungry.
Mm-hmm.
What do you concentrate on when you're hungry?
The taste and the food. I don't know.
You're looking for food.
Right. Oh,
Because
yeah,
that's all
just
you
a-
can think about, right?
Yeah.
You can only think about food. And that's what happens with a kid. If a child goes without food or nutrition, it stunts their growth. It stunts their mental abilities. Physically, they're not
Yeah, their
able
health, yeah.
to do certain things. We've recently started doing a breakfast after the bell program as well. That's in several schools. And I read an article where a principal actually started doing the breakfast, and like a month or 2 months in, he realized that there were less visits to the nurse about stomach aches. There were less kids going to detention for bad behavior. There were less fights
Wow.
in the school, and the teachers started to report there were less disciplinary actions that had to be taken, and it was all because the kids were not getting, they weren't eating in the morning. And you know, and we
Yeah,
take
you
it for
know.
granted. Like, we take it really, really for granted. But if we want our future to be bright, we got to feed these kids.
Yeah, and you know, you're exactly like you said. You can't. Normal people can't just. They want food, so you get hungry, you get hangry.
Hangry.
And, yes, exactly. But then there's people that are literally starving and they need the food. So you can only imagine what they're going through. And I mean, it's amazing and it's life changing what Three Square is doing. I
Yeah.
mean, it's really life
But
changing.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. We have a lot of partners that we
Yes.
partner with, and a lot of different foundations that work with us all the time. And I always and there's a hashtag that Three Square uses. It's hashtag Together We Can.
Yes.
And it's the truth. You know, every piece of it works. I think I posted on Instagram once a picture of our truck, one of the big
Yes.
tractor trailers, and I said, guys, you gotta wave at these guys, smile at them, don't cut them off on the road, you know, because
Right.
every little bit, if we didn't have that guy driving that truck, there's a possibility that thousands of kids won't eat.
Yeah.
So that's another aspect of it, and you know, we are and although we're doing a lot, we're still looking for more ways
Oh,
and
of
more
course,
opportunities to do things. I'm going to say something. This is exclusive. I've never said this in the public. People.
Oh my goodness.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I am working on a project with my big boss,
Oh.
and we are trying to find someone to donate a double-decker bus to us. The idea is to get that double-decker bus retrofitted to look like a diner, all upstairs, half of the downstairs, and a little kitchen in the back with storage space, because there are areas within Las Vegas that don't have pantries. They don't have, you know, a church facility that will be able to do it. They don't have certain outlets to receive the food to actually hand it out. So we would take that bus and we would drive it into the area, have the kids come on, eat a meal, and have them go off. And even further, we would like to also push it to where maybe families come on and have a meal. And then
How
we drive to the
incredible.
next. So I'm working on it. If you guys know of anybody,
Yes.
please get in touch with Corey Taylor.
Yeah, I want to, everyone out there, anyone who can donate that, and there's a lot of, I won't mention specific companies, but there's a lot of companies
She's like, let me start yelling out.
that can absolutely, like, no doubt, donate double-decker buses. And
we would like
I mean, what a cool thing, and helping so many people.
Every summer we would put those
Wow.
buses on the street and
What an
feed kids.
incredible idea.
Yeah, so
wow.
so that's my idea. I told my boss, I said, everywhere I go, I mention these double-decker buses. Anybody that I talk to, I don't care who it is. You know, I'm standing in line at Starbucks, I tell the barista, hey, by the way, I'm doing this double-decker bus thing. But I try to do it.
Yeah.
If people donate, here's why I think Three Square is an amazing charity. Excuse me. For every dollar someone donates, Three Square can provide 3 meals.
Wow. For $1.
For every
Wow.
dollar, we can provide 3 meals. It's because we buy so much at a time. So somebody walked in, $5. Great, you just fed 15 kids.
Wow. Well, that's yeah.
So you
Wow.
you can always go to the website. You can always always just peruse that website. And I think the tab is how to help, and
Okay.
it gives you all of the different options. And I am full of like spit and vinegar about this, like shaking my fist and
Yes.
excited. And I'm trying to share everything that we do with, with everyone. It's a lot, but I try to share.
Well, I wanted to say too. Well, honestly, like you said, we have known each other for years. You are such a really good-hearted man, and you have such an amazing heart, and you're so kind. And I think it's such an amazing thing that you work for them now and are helping them out. And I really think in the only 10 weeks you've been there, you have changed a lot of stuff, and you have such amazing plans for them. And I mean,
you.
thank gosh they have someone like you working
Well,
there too.
let me just say there are some amazing people there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
bet.
everybody wakes up with the same agenda. You know what I mean? Let's feed the kids. And,
That is so
You
cool.
know, there's new stuff coming out, feeding the elderly with disabilities. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
happening pretty soon. Oh my goodness, we do a thing which I think is phenomenal.
Okay.
It is a virtual food drive.
Interesting. How does that work?
So instead of you being responsible for a big old bin of canned food and have to drag it down to 3 Square and drop it off, our development department creates a website specifically for your company. It has your company's logo on it, and you get the link, and you just send it out to your people. They donate. And it all goes straight into 3 Square. You don't have
Wow.
to lift a finger besides hitting enter
Wow.
on your computer and sending it out to your network.
That's such a great thing.
And it's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
And it's
wow.
$1
How easy.
provides 3 meals.
No. And
Simple.
so if people, like you said, literally $1 can make a difference. But if people want to donate, they could go to the website.
Go to the website, click on how to help. It gives you the list of things that you can actually help with. You know, if you have any questions, just call.
Yeah.
Hey, I need to speak to somebody. I want to find out how to do this or do that or whatever. You know, we're here for the community, and that's what the passion is all about.
Yeah.
You know, and I believe that we are only as strong as the person sitting next to us. And if we can sit around and watch that person go hungry, then
Yeah.
we're no stronger than they are, you know.
No, and it's hunger is such a huge problem, and homelessness and everything, and even people who aren't homeless, they're putting all their income into staying in a house so they don't have food, and I mean it's really such a life-changing thing, and food is
yeah.
such a basic need.
so
It's a human
basic.
right,
So basic.
literally, yeah.
And you know it's funny because I was poor. I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And you know you sacrifice basic necessities for
Yeah.
food.
Exactly.
So I went, okay, do I eat or do I go to the doctor?
yeah, it's true.
I have to eat. I got to work to get that little bit of food. So I can't go to the doctor. So, you know, you're trying to find ways of not being ill and patching yourself up. But that's a reality out there, whether we go through it or not, or we know people that are going through it or not. It is a reality.
Yeah, and there's so much out there. Like even honestly, I always knew there was a lot, but the numbers you said too, that is just it's bad, and it's horrific actually that there's that many people out there that are hungry and don't have food. 100,000 kids, that's children that they didn't choose to be born like that.
No, of course.
They're in there, and that's just absolutely crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
You know, and you know, I think the beauty of it all is that we can do something.
Yes.
That's the beauty
Yes.
of it. That's the shining light at the end of the tunnel is that, you know, every single one of us can do something, whether you volunteer, whether you host your next event at 3 Square, or whether you donate or do a virtual food drive. We all can do something, and I think that is the real trick, is saying, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to get this thing done.
Yeah. And what an amazing place. And truly, even small businesses, if they want to host events there, huge, large corporations donate tons of money. And can people donate food as well?
They can donate food as well,
cool.
yes.
So any little thing you can do, I mean, you're saving and helping so many people and truly saving lives, because without this program, they're not getting food. And it's just, you can't even think about it because it's so horrible. But truly saving lives in big corporations. And that double-decker bus. There are so many companies out there that can donate a double-decker bus.
But I'll take one.
That's such a brilliant idea, though.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, we do. There's another program that is done there. It's called it's a food rescue program, and it was just announced a little while ago that we teamed up with MGM to collect any food that is not opened from banquets and events and whatnot. Three Square takes it, freezes it, and then it goes into those pantry items. It also goes into feeding the elderly, and so forth. So we've teamed up with MGM. We've teamed up with other casinos. We teamed up with grocery stores as well for stuff that's maybe it's 5 days. It's gonna spoil, but you got to get it off the rack or whatever. So we go. So there's a whole team of people that go out and they rescue that food.
Yeah, even restaurants and stuff. Then they can't use the produce anymore, or they can donate to you guys. I mean, that's so cool, and that's a big help.
That's a huge help.
It's
a
letting
huge
people
help.
eat.
Because otherwise they throw it out, and it's thrown out.
Exactly.
Now nobody gets it.
It's in the trash, or it's in
trash.
someone's stomach that really needed that.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
how can you even say no to that?
But it's you know what? I'll tell you something. The environment there is a lot of fun. If you come, I want to invite you to come
I'd love to.
for a tour.
I'm so
excited and to check it out. I think that anybody who's even thinking about it or wondering, they should just come and take a tour, because it transforms you. It changes your mind about what Three Square is about and what Three Square is doing, and it also changes how important it is to have it. If we didn't, it would be not very good.
It'd be
for
horrible.
the community.
But it's a necessity. So people need to help it to keep it going, because it's so important.
Very, very important.
Yeah, and
I love it.
so cool. I think that is just amazing.
Are you gonna come?
Oh, what?
Are you gonna come?
Oh, yes, I'm gonna come. Of course, I no, trust me, I really want to, immediately, because it's such a great place, and the pictures are so beautiful.
The pictures don't even.
Oh, I'm sure.
You get there because there's an energy. There's always people there. There's always people volunteering. It's always hustling and bustling. The kitchen is always, moving with people donating their time, and then you go into the warehouse, and of course there's 2 buildings.
Oh, wow.
That do different functions. So there's quite a bit going on. There's quite a bit. I'm gonna leave this for you so that you can put it up on the website. But for summer,
absolutely.
because summer is my concentration. This is my concentration.
And the heat here in Vegas too. Without that, oh my gosh! I mean, you're using enough energy just walking down the street with the heat. So they need that food.
Yeah. A couple years ago, they started mobile food delivery. So they have a truck that will, it's a van actually, it's a refrigerated van, and it drives out to different apartment complexes, like maybe budget suites, different areas, and we just feed the kids that are
How
there.
Cool.
And we've been doing it for a few years now. So we're still doing it, and we're looking for more funding to do more, especially in the summertime when it's a little harder to get them fed. But we've fed a lot of kids through the summer through those
That
mobile.
is so cool.
Just nice.
What a cool thing. I mean, really, and like you said, I think not only everyone there that works there really has to have such a good heart and stuff. And I mean, they're really dedicated to it. I think that's why it's grown so much and it continues to grow. And I really hope people out there will help in any little bit, even $1. That's 3 meals. Like that. Meals. When you said that, that is just absolutely crazy.
Bananas, right?
Yeah.
So it is. It's quite crazy. But I think that I'm having a good time. and if you follow me on Instagram,
Yes.
it's called at Will the Show. You can see all of my pictures. I've decided every week, at the end of every week, I'm going to post another photo and tell you something that I've learned about what it is that we do,
How
because
cool.
every day is learning. I brought
Yeah.
some stuff for you too.
Oh, okay.
I brought you some
Let's do it.
swag.
Let's see it. Okay.
And I brought this for you so that you remember, and you don't forget about 3 Square, and you keep it on your mind, and
I can
and
never.
you get the word out. So that's a little book that says "Powered by Breakfast."
Oh, cool.
Hold up, breakfast.
How cute.
And then you got your little Eat Up and Meet Up shades.
Ooh, I love these.
You like those? Okay, and then
love
you love those too.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, look. This is for you and your mom. Little bracelets, little 3 Square
perfect.
bracelets. That
I
have look, it has the website on it as well. So if anybody ever
Whoa.
asks you,
I'll know right there. I could say, here it is.
you're right there. And then just to keep it all together, there's some 3 Square pens you can give to your producers as well.
And who cannot use pens?
Exactly.
I love these. Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome, but it
I-
keeps it on your mind, hopefully.
Yes, and so everyone go visit the website right here, as you can see, and it will be down displayed below too. But 3square.org, super easy to remember. Type it on in. Any little way you can help is such a huge impact on so many lives. So.
Exactly. The I forgot. I'm looking at my notes because I'm
Yes,
new.
no,
So
please. I want you to promote every little part
I
of
looked
it.
down at the notes, but in 2017, those refrigerated mobiles over the summer fed more than 265 million. So 265 million
gosh.
meals were served.
Oh my
which was more than 700 additional kids eating per day outside from all of our contact.
How you can't argue with those numbers. That is just
I mean, the truth
how
is,
cool.
but the truth is that if we only got 20 kids, it's still worth it.
One kid, yeah.
It's still
Absolutely.
quite worth it. So it is a lot of fun, and the people that I work with are fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That is so cool, and you're such a perfect person for it too.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
because I think we've had Will on my show a couple times. You know, and you've seen, and if you're a Will Edwards fan, which I'm sure everyone is, because he's just so amazing, and we love his stuff. But you know what a good person he is, and how fun and cool. I mean, what a perfect place for you to be with. I mean, that is so cool.
Well, thank you.
So cool.
And I know you're thinking about coming up and doing something with us.
Yes.
Soon. We're not going to
Very
tell
soon.
We're not telling anybody yet.
No, but hopefully everything
fingers
will be
crossed.
very soon. You'll know, and then we'll make big announcements. It'll be awesome.
No,
So,
it'll be a lot of fun. Some people have been asking, is that all you do? Of course not. I do a lot of other things.
yeah, no, you are a man of many. I can't even keep up with how much stuff you do. It's just like crazy.
I love it. I mean, well, my of course it now with 3 Square, my other loves, of course, is entertaining, and men's fashion.
Yeah, and as you can tell, I forgot. I did because it's been a stressful day, so I did think to dress up nice and we were driving here. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be with Will. I'm gonna look like a homeless. I'm gonna look absolutely horrific next to him. So.
Terrible.
Because he always dresses so
Terrible.
nice. I mean, everyone. The second you walk into him, you always stick out because you're just so well dressed.
Well, I wrote a book
Yes.
called "What Men Do Wrong from Dressing to Grooming," so I have to dress nice all the time. It's expected. People call you out. I had a guy call me out once. Like I decided once to wear to go casual at an event, and it was in the winter, so I had on a nice pair of boots, some jeans. I had on a long sleeve tee. It was orange.
Yeah.
And a brown jacket, leather bomber jacket.
That's not that
And
casual.
I thought, that's pretty
right.
nice,
That's-
okay?
Yeah.
But then I took off the jacket, and the guy was like, "What is this?" And I'm
You're
like,
excuse
I'm sorry.
me.
He's like, what do you? He's like, why are you dressed this way? I'm like, what do you mean? I don't know how to react to you. This is what he said. So I thought it was very funny.
No, but you do. You always dress amazing, and you have so much stuff. Your comedy shows, even I can't go yet because I'm not 21, but I can soon.
Next year, right?
So yes.
Next year you'll be there.
December 26th. So there we go.
She'll be there.
Yes.
That's
I'm very
great.
excited.
You look. If it's December 26th, then you will be at our 4-year anniversary show. Will be your first
Oh my goodness.
Your first show.
What a great thing. What a great thing. That's perfect.
You know what? I will say this to anyone that's watching. This one right here, I've known her since she was 12 years old, and her and her mom would come to the Will Edwards show when we did it downtown at Theater 7, which no longer exists.
So sad.
So sad.
I know.
But you know, we've stayed in contact, and I've watched you grow, and you know, when you first started hosting, you were so nervous and so quiet, and now you've just kind of blossomed into this personality, which I respect, and anytime you call me and say, hey, Will you be on the show, you know I will be here.
Well, I always, and my mom knows too. When I first started and stuff, and I was so nervous. She's like, "Look at Will." She's like, "Look how good he is," and like try to model after Will and stuff. Because you're so personable, and your guests, you feel like you're friends. Like it's not like, oh, I'm right here. Like it's such a cool setting, and you host. You're such an amazing host.
Look. I did it for a long time. It's not easy to host something.
No, it's
you
not.
know that.
Yes, it is. It's very
You
difficult.
know, there's an interesting balance that goes when you're hosting something. You know, the balance is, how do I be interested and interesting at the same time without overshadowing the guest?
Exactly.
Right?
It's hard.
You learn, right?
It's
I mean,
hard.
it's pretty difficult. So, you know, we learn these things.
Yes, but you are so talented, and you're also an actor. I mean, you do everything, Will. Absolutely everything.
I am, yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, You People, first of all, was the very first thing I saw.
You People was the first thing I did.
What a great film.
And
you killed it. It was so cool.
Well, you know, if it wasn't for Kelly Schwartz, I would be in no
amazing.
movies at all.
Me either. That's how I started it. It was because of Kelly and Anthony Avery. I was in their film first for the first 48-hour film festival.
Yes, I
and that's
remember
the whole
that.
reason I even got into acting in the first place.
It was a science fiction thing, wasn't
yes,
it?
Yes, it was.
And you were in the car.
You were the voice. Of
I was. I don't know where. I don't
It
even.
was years ago.
It was so long ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, you know, I love Las Vegas, and I'm quite fortunate. Not you know, I'm fortunate with being part of Three Square and something that has so much purpose and cause. But I'm also fortunate because building this whole thing with We Styling,
Yes.
you know, .lv.com,
So cool.
and helping all of my clients just feel better about themselves and comfortable. I think we miss a little bit in terms of how we dress. We don't know the real psychological impact
Right.
looking good has, right?
Absolutely.
So you know, and if we think back, I can honestly say, when I go home and I put on my pajama pants and my t-shirt and I'm just kicking around the house, I'm a little slobby and you know, and I walk a certain way. But then when you dress it up and you know, and I don't mean like you have to be in a suit all the time, but when you dress up a little bit, you seem to stand a little taller.
Yes,
and
you do.
You pull that down into place, and you want someone to look at you in a certain way, and you know, you find that people respond to you differently.
Yeah.
As well.
No, style, it is so important, and especially when I was a kid, and so I didn't know what to wear. I literally had hand-me-downs from my sister, like absolutely nothing. But when I started to grow up and stuff, that's when I did get a little more confident, when I was able to buy clothes I liked and stuff like that. And it changes your whole life, and you helping people out there and your book alone, and then your own styling business. I mean, that is so cool.
No, it's a lot of fun, and I really do enjoy it. It's another form of, you know, I am that type of person. I like to help people.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
it gives me that opportunity. But I'll tell you a story. I told this to somebody today. This story. I used to, when I was in high school, I worked at Johnson & Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was a summer gig. I worked there, and I was in the mailroom.
Okay.
And so in the mailroom, you wear jeans, you wear sneakers,
Right.
you wear a t-shirt, and they give you the cart, and it has all your mail in it. You get to sort everything, and you walk around the building, and you know, and you put the mail in the people's hands. And I'll be honest with you, and it was relatively a corporate setting at that time, and no one spoke to us
Oh.
in the mailroom. We were like the bottom of the bottom of the bottom,
I
right?
understand.
We're in our jeans, we're in our
I-
sneakers. No one spoke to us. So my
I'm gonna say that's my job too.
so my last day, I decided to wear a suit. I don't know why I decided to wear a suit, but I did. I got into a suit, and I thought, you know what? It's my last day. I'm going to go out with a big hurrah, put my shoes on, got my suit on.
That's right.
And I did the exact same route that day that I had done every day throughout the summer, and every single person that I ran into spoke to me.
Wow. That's crazy. That's right there. That tells you everything.
So
right
the moral of the story is don't dress where you are. Dress where you want to go.
yeah.
If you're in an
Excellent
organization or you're in a business and you can see yourself, running the marketing department, well, you know what?
You
Look
better
at the-
just like you're running the marketing
Exactly.
department.
Look at the guy that's running the marketing department and go, you know what? I need to get some attention. I need to
I need
dress
to
that
outdo
way.
you.
Exactly, and it's true, and people look at you, and they take you a lot more seriously.
No, you're
In
right.
those times. And
Are absolutely right. And you, as you could see, always looks incredible, perfect. Everything is just absolutely perfect. So buy the book too to get the personal tips, and then get him styling yourself. I mean, oh my goodness, I want to be styled, but he only does guys. But I want to.
I'm
be
working
styled
on it.
by
I'm
Will.
working on it. Women are harder.
Yeah, no.
Women
of
are.
course.
There's all sort of bumps and
And there's all different
different
yeah.
types and things that they want to accentuate, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do with that.
No,
But yeah, the book is available on Amazon. It's called "What Men Do Wrong: From Dressing to Grooming,"
which I love the title too.
and so I'm now contemplating another book,
Ooh.
which makes me every time I say it, it makes me nervous. But if I don't keep saying it, I won't do it. So it will still be "What Men Do Wrong."
Okay.
That whole kind of brand, but it's going to be "What Men Do Wrong: The Miseducation of the Everyday Man."
Oh.
And the book is going to lay out what things are actually called. So, for example, the shirt that I'm wearing has buttons here, right?
Right.
So this shirt is called a button down. If it did not have a button here, it would be a button up.
Oh.
The everyday
Wow,
guy
I didn't know that. I had no idea about
might
that.
not know that.
Right.
So it's like, well, how do we correct that miseducation? And that's the plan for the next. Look at all of these exclusives I'm giving you.
I know. I feel like so. Oh, look at
Now
me.
I have to do it because I just
You
did it
have
on your
to
show.
now. No, and you should, because that's so important too. And then you sound like better, and people will want to be like, "Oh wow, he knows his stuff," and that's a big thing. That's a very big thing.
And you don't have to go into the store going, "Hey, what's that thingamajiggy that you put on your
Exactly.
that area of that jacket thing? You know, oh, a lapel pin? Yes. Oh, that thing is a lapel. Oh, it's a lapel." Because look, and it's not that anyone is dumb or ignorant. That's not the
No,
viewpoint.
right.
But if you're not taught what something is, you
You're
just go
never
through your
gonna know,
life and you
yeah.
just think, well, it's a shirt and it has buttons on it, so it must be a button down. It buttons down, but if you don't know and you're not taught,
different.
there's a huge difference. And it's the same thing with style. If you're really not taught, then you just don't know. You just cover your body and you go about your business.
Right. No, you're completely. It's so important, and you are helping change a lot of people with that too, and helping people have a better personality and get farther in life because of it. Because it's very important.
And
so.
and more confidence. I
Yes.
think that is vitally
most important thing, yeah.
Vitally important.
Yes.
If you feel like you can walk into a room full of millionaires.
That's right. Then you belong yourself.
There you go. Exactly.
Exactly.
See?
Yes.
We should be working together.
That's right. I would love to, but I can't stand up to your fashion. But no, and then also your Will Edwards comedy show and everything too. Why
Yes.
don't you talk about that? As
So
well?
we do a comedy show. It's called We Funny Comedy
yes.
Show. We do it the second Friday of every month at Inspire Theater in downtown Las Vegas. It's on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and East Fremont Street. And they have a beautiful. If you've never been, you won't know it from looking at it. But they have a beautiful theater inside, about 120 to 130 seats.
Wow.
Theater with an actual stage. It's just a beautiful, beautiful venue, and we like to highlight our local comedians, but we also bring people in every so often from LA or from New York or the surrounding areas, and it is a lot of fun. You know, I host it, so I tell a joke or two.
Ooh, look at you.
I'm not saying they're funny. I'm just saying I
think
tell
they're
a
pretty
joke.
funny. You always make me laugh.
I tell a joke or two, but it is a lot of fun, and I'm very fortunate that the local comedians love the show and they reach out to do it. So it's one of those. It's for locals. You know, we're not. What a cool thing. You know, we're not trying to get all of these guys and so forth. So it's a local show, and we love it, and we love doing it.
Yes, and comedy shows. First of all, if anyone has never tried stand-up comedy, it is the most difficult thing in the entire world.
Let me say, some people get it.
Some people,
and they can just do it.
I am not one of those people.
Let me just tell you, I've done a lot of stuff in my life, and it is by far the hardest thing that I've ever done.
Yeah.
And it remains the hardest thing.
I bet.
that I've ever done, and because when I did the Will Edwards show, it was my show. Yeah. I do what I wanted to do. Hey, I'm going to talk to who I want to talk to. I'm going to play. But on a stand-up comedy show, you basically, you get up there in front of a group of people, and you go, okay, so I wrote these things down, and I think they're pretty funny. What do you think? And then sometimes you get great laughter, and sometimes you get no laughter.
Well, that's the problem. Everyone has different comedy styles and everything, so you're never ever going to please anybody. But you have to gauge a room, and it's so difficult.
It is a lot of work,
It's
and
really and people don't understand. Like, they're so talented stand-up comedians.
They're really quite good, and you know. And I think stand-up comedians, their ability to take something ordinary and blow it up and make it something extraordinary, I think is a fantastic thing. Definitely. And then as the audience member, you're like, oh my gosh, that happened to me. Or, oh my God, I know someone who that, and that's what makes the connection. Exactly. You know, that's what makes you laugh. So I enjoy that part of it, the connection with the audience and that sort of thing. And you really got to read that audience. You're right. Yeah. Because some audiences don't laugh out loud. No. But they're having a great time. Exactly. And you're like, why is no one laughing at my joke? Why?
Isn't that really funny?
I thought it was funny. I wrote it. But then, you know, you have to realize, you have to really feel it, because you can feel the energy in the room. And I've had rooms where the people are just quiet. Yeah. But the room still felt positive. Right. So you're like, we'll see at the end whether they liked it or not. And,
right.
And sometimes you feel good about it, sometimes you don't. It just depends. And then you find out that everybody loved it, and they'll be back next time, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I did it.
It's like a roller coaster ride, man.
But you are so talented, and everything you do is just truly incredible, because you when you do something, you do it right, and you really focus on making it the best it can be, and that is such an important quality, and I think that's why you are so successful with everything, and you should be, because you're such a hard worker, and you really go above and beyond for everything.
All right, would you like another exclusive?
Oh, yes.
3 exclusives.
Oh, my goodness.
In one show. Wow. I am like flabbergasted. You pull it out of me. I'm like, I just want to tell you about it. I just want to tell you about it. So you know that I'm not wearing a jacket today, but you know I make pocket squares.
I wanted to bring those up too.
I have a company called Squareware by Will Edwards. I am partnered with a young man named Eric Kidd. And recently, Eric really fielded out a deal with a local retailer, and we will have our pocket squares in a local retailer. I can't say who it is yet. Oh my God. But a local retailer at Caesar's Palace and a retailer in Beverly Hills.
Oh my gosh, wow. Oh my goodness. And I have to say, first of all, pocket squares, I never really thought about them until I met you, and they make such a big difference, and they're so cool. And your pocket squares are so fun and different and cool, and they add so much style to what you're wearing. I mean, it's your pocket squares are amazing, and they like just make the outfit like 10 times better. So I mean,
I did do New York Fashion Week.
Yes, you did do New York Fashion Week.
I wish I could have gone to New York Fashion Week. I did not go to New York Fashion Week, but there's a great company called Anna Ono, and they make lingerie for cancer survivors.
Oh, wow.
Usually women who've had mastectomies and so forth. So their whole idea is that you can still be sexy even if this has happened. So you don't give all of that power to the cancer. And when I saw that, I was like, this is fantastic. And my friend Rain Thomas, who is a cancer survivor, she knocks on my door, she calls me or texts me, and I'm like, okay, Rain, whatever you want me to do, I will do it. And so this time she says, listen, can you give some squares for the swag bags for the fashion show? And I said yes. And she was like, how many? I asked her how many. She's like, oh, I don't know, just do 5. I said, I'll send you 15. And you do whatever you want with it. But it was really less about Fashion Week and more about the cause and these brave women that were going to walk down that runway.
That's such a cool
You know what I
thing,
mean?
yeah.
It's just so fantastic. And I had an aunt that I lost from breast cancer, so it touches home, and it was just a very, very, very cool opportunity.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And like I said, your pocket squares are like the best things ever. They're so cool. I absolutely love them. Everyone does.
I have to learn how to say thank you to people when they talk up to me. I mean, like,
it's awkward. It's hard.
It's so awkward.
But you deserve it. So you should. You'll have to get used to it because everyone should be saying how incredible you are.
Stop it.
Yeah. See, Will.
Tell your child to stop it.
But yes, and then let's go over 3 square
Yes.
one more time.
3 square one more time.
Yes.
If you want to help or you want to find out how you can help, there are so many different ways. Go to 3square.org and hit how to help. Also, with coming up with the Meet Up and Eat Up program, you can text Summer NV to 877-877 and you can get all the information, or you can go on to freesummerfood.org and find out all the locations where you can also find it. If you're in a pinch and you need a pantry, you can also find it by clicking onto 3square.org and looking at agency partners, and those partners there's a whole map of where you can actually get it done. And if you want a tour, I will give it to you.
Oh my goodness. So you get to meet the one and only Mr. Will Edwards as well? What a deal.
Come on up and take a tour and see what we're doing.
How cool.
Probably about 20 minutes.
Oh, well, there you go. So everyone, go check out 3 Square. Check out Will Edwards. Where can people follow you as well?
You can follow me on Facebook. Just go click on Will Edwards. You'll find me there. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Will the Show.
I love it.
Is the handle.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Will, for being on.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
And being part of this. And now you're part of my 3 Square journey.
Oh, and it's such an honor, and I'll be blasting this out as well, and anything you need help with for 3 Square, I will absolutely 100% be down with and help and push everything out. And then Double Decker Bus, people, get your Double Decker Bus, get them over to them, because that is such a great thing and life-changing, so.
That is exactly.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Will.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching. Please go check out everything, support in any way you possibly can, because it's really such a life-changing thing for so many people out there, and you'll feel better about yourself, and that's really a cool thing. I mean, everyone should go help in any little way they possibly can, and big corporations host your events there. Donate food, donate tons of money to them. Any little bit can help. So thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, never give up, always believe, and you'll achieve. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you.